Let's just start with the basic reaction you have to Elon Musk opening the call saying, starting in May, I will pare back the amount of time spent on Doge and allocate more time to Tesla.
Thanks for having me, Ed. Yes, with pleasure. Well, first of all, I want to thank Elon for having done the job at Doge he's been doing. This has been important for any U.S. taxpayer and for anybody that's interested in the United States becoming the power it should be. And he has been stellar in getting this organized, how he is stellar in organizing anything. So I'm really pleased he put some time and effort into this. It's always been clear, both by Elon and by President Trump, that this would be limited in time for his full-time allocation of time. But this is coming to an end in May, which is not surprising at all, other than people who may not have listened. So him dialing it down to 1 to 2 days a week, and do remember, Elon's week is a 7-day week and not a 5-day week. So him dialing it down to 1 to 2 days of Doge oversight and still being available to it doesn't mean he's completely backing out of it. We're happy as Tesla shareholders that he's going to put more time into Tesla, but frankly, nothing has been delayed or missing the 4 or 5 months that he has now been with Doge. The launch of the new Model Y simultaneously in 4 factories on 3 continents shows how strong the Tesla team is, whether Elon is in Washington, D.C. or somewhere else in the world. So there is really, there was no concern whatsoever. And people being surprised by the stock going back up, as Greg said, I think they have not watched what Tesla is actually going to accomplish.
Alexandra, something you just said that nothing has been missed. I was also trying to understand there was some contradiction between what Elon Musk said on the demand side and absent of macroeconomic impacts, they don't see an impact to demand. But the CFO Taneja was quite clear about the brand impact in the quarter, the first quarter, and, quote, the changing political landscape having an impact on future sales. I have a question for you from X, from the audience, from one of your fellow community members, essentially, and it asks you, you usually live in California. What is your gauge of, quote, brand damage, given your geography? And that question comes from Farzad.
Yeah, that's a very good question of Farzad. I honestly, here in Santa Barbara, don't see any impact. There are more Teslas out there. I picked up my new Model Y last Saturday, and the Tesla Center was busy. It was crazy, actually. But at the same time, from 10 to 12, there was the typical Saturday morning protestation in front of the Tesla store. Always the same people. They get carried in with buses. At 10 o'clock, they start. At 12 o'clock, they go off. And this will have an impact. This has an impact on people that probably would not have purchased Teslas, but still want to make noise. On the other side, on the upside, there is now a whole new clientele. We're seeing many people that have never considered EVs now considering EVs, and in particular Teslas. And so, it is give and take. I'm not saying it was completely without brand damage, but clearly the overall goal of Tesla, putting real AI on the streets, being the one vector that will be the one transporting anybody and everybody in the next decade, that hasn't been changed in anything.
But Alexandra, they're kind of late to that party, certainly slower than Waymo. I got my Waymo in Arizona just last week. What of the rollout and when it becomes a real business model action here?
That was actually the key phrase I found yesterday in the earnings call, when Elon for the first time quantified when he expects significant revenues from full self-drive, which he said by middle of 2026, and that is just around the corner. So the Waymo model, that was actually really a fun moment, because the whole team there had a good chuckle about Waymo costing way more money. I mean, as you know, Waymo is built on other companies' vehicles, is very expensive, and is geofenced. So it is in no way comparable. But I mean, no doubt they have done a great service of bringing full self-driving to the masses, and have to be congratulated for. It is in no way comparable what Tesla has. Teslas will work everywhere, as has been proven with the rollout of FSD in China. They had hardly any information on Chinese roads, yet were immediately able to adopt FSD to China.